This is FanSpeak, a weekly live show where the fans of comics and its community are our guests. Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the show. This is FanSpeak for September something or another. I do believe it's coming into the what is this? The 21st? It is the 21st. Really happy to have you guys in here with us. Of course, do keep in mind we got a lot of links down below. We'd love for you to check them all out, please, and tickle them, and just make sure it doesn't say booster. Don't tickle anything that says booster. Keep that in mind. But of course, we are live streamers.
Good.
No, we shouldn't. But do keep in mind we are live streamers, so the thing that helps us out the most is hitting that share button and letting your family and friends and extended community know what's going on so they come over here and join us. But other than that, Dinale keeps yelling at me, says, Chester, we need more subscriptions. So I guess you need to hit that subscription button as well as some stupid bell. And someone said something about a like button too, so hit that as well. Whatever makes you happy. But we're just happy that you're in here. Of course, we appreciate it. This is FanSpeak, and it's going to be a lot of fun today. Look at the crew we got in here, big one, and someone else was threatening to come in as well. So that should be interesting. I always want to come over and say hello to the guys before we get into it deep. So I have to start with the most oily, pie-eating bird that has ever existed in the lands down under. It is the Booster Boy.
Hey, it's me. I made it.
You did make it. Now, what
Yeah.
kind of deviancy are you up to today? I'm just curious.
Me, Chester?
Yes.
Nothing.
Nothing?
No.
You
I'm not up to anything.
Nothing. Okay, so you with that picture you were talking about Ezra Miller, you were all fascinating over it.
No.
That's not a real thing. That's not real.
I gotta stop this voice now. I would do it the entire episode if I. I gotta quit it now.
I prefer the Mexican voice anyway. That's pretty funny. I like that one.
You mean hey man? Hey, just a minute. I just came into my lawns.
Oh, hello. That's the way it is. Hey, we got a lot of people in here, dude. Look, we got Roger Heller's in here.
Awful.
We got Eric Hawkins. He is the most Eric-y of all Hawkins. We also have ourselves a Pope Fire in here. Oh, we're in trouble now. She says, Chester. Pope. What can I do for you?
I'd imagine she's excited that she has 1,000 followers on Twitter.
Yeah, well, everybody give a clap. Clap for Pope's 1,000 Twitter followers.
Yay.
That is so amazing. That is so amazing. I'm so proud of you.
A compliment.
What is it? We got another person here. What is this? Deep Throater? No, that's not what it says. It says Derp Pertrader. That's very different than Deep Throater. I do apologize. It says howdy.
Goodness me.
I didn't say it. That's you. I blame you. It's your fault. We got Lady Celtic Moon in here as well. Howdy. Hey, we got Dave too. Comic Book Bob. Dude, awesome. We got Zach, I said. We got Brian as well. Brian Hawkins is another Hawkins. We got a lot of Hawkins. It's a lot of that. But anyway, thank you for being here, Booster. Let me go over and say hello to the rest of the folks. What do you say there, Todd? As you robot in on me?
Just have the Hawkins in a chair.
Hawkins in a chair? I'm missing something.
Sorry, am I robot?
You are roboting, yes.
I think he's making a Stephen Hawkins joke.
Oh.
Ironically, as he robots. That's incredible. That's the universe aligning kind of shit right there.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is. For sure. Thank you for your comedy, Todd. We do appreciate you being here, and you might want to drop in and come back in. We're also joined by, I have to introduce him properly, the man with a truly sexy voice, a Slick Jimmy.
What's up,
come
everybody?
on. There you go.
What do you want from me?
Timing.
I want you to say better timing, dude. Yeah, but hello. Nice to see
Hello.
you. Glad you're in
How
here.
are you, my friends? I will say something salacious eventually.
That's good. And I can always count on Slick Jimmy to come in and actually bring the depravity level up to about 9.5. The Booster takes care of the rest. So we're all good.
It's a sexy speak, baby.
It is sexy speak. Yeah, it is sexy. You're right, sexy speak. We got Thundero in here. He says, evening. Well, evening to you, sir. Our very first story today involves you, Mr. Thundero. It's involving lightning and thunder.
You made the news. Wow.
You did, dude.
You personally.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I know what you're up to.
Yeah. And of course,
I know what you've done.
Of course, we also shut up. All right, so we're also joined by the most llamas of Dinales. How you doing, dude?
Hello, aloha, guys. How everybody doing? I'm doing fantastic. It looks
Yeah.
like we're all on 7 ounces of coffee because we're all hyper for no good reason.
Maybe it's 12 ounces, huh?
Mmm, you got me there. You
I got
got
a,
me there.
I got a big cup, and I do have my coffee, so I'm really happy. We're also joined by a new voice today, guys. We got Lee Stewart. Hey, Lee, what's going on? Now, Lee here is the new. I believe you're the executive editor at Cautionary Comics. Is that correct?
Drop that.
What?
I don't know what Booster. Booster just went jihadi on me. Oh no. Uh,
I believe we weren't dropping that at all.
I believe we
Yeah,
were actually. I was
No, he
told
said
to.
it was
It's
okay.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
It's good. It's good.
it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's out there now. Good
Thanks, God, you suck, Booster. You really are not good at this. You should go home
Is it
and like
okay?
oil yourself or something. But anyway, hey
I
Lee,
am
what's going?
home and oiled.
All right, Booster. Is the aneurysm taken care of now? I mean,
Yeah,
are we okay? You
I'm
good?
okay. I'm
All
not
right. Do you
freaking
need
out
a
anymore.
hug?
He does need
Okay.
hugs. Just don't give him
I
any.
could
Well, yeah,
That's
I
kind
could
of the
use a
okay.
hug.
rule.
I'm just saying, because if you need a hug, I mean, I'm right here for you, brother. But
Oh,
it's all digital, brother.
It's
the
kind
cool
of
one.
like that sign that says "Don't feed the bears." It's kind of the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, dude, welcome. How you doing?
I'm doing just fine.
All
A little
right.
nervous, having fun with y'all. But yeah, it's been a great. I should say it's been an interesting 48 hours. Uh,
Sweet.
didn't see this coming, but James contacted me the other day and asked a few questions, mostly about what was going on with a purchase that I had with Cautionary, and he was just started asking me some business questions about stuff that I was doing, and the next thing you know, we're on the phone, and I mean seriously, in 57 minutes, it was a done deal. That's how
Sweet.
fast it all happened.
Oh, that's cool, man. And we're looking forward to you coming on at a later date and actually as a representative and talking to us and telling us plans and all that kind of stuff. But today you're here just to sit and shoot it with us and have some fun with these articles, man. So, but
Yeah,
congratulations to you for sure, man. Very
I
much so.
appreciate that.
And of course, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. It is time for the chairman's address.
What? No introduction for me?
God, no. You blew that. You blew it, Mr.
All
Robot.
right, whatever. Am I still roboting?
It's
You're good.
better. You're interrupting the
No, you're
chairman,
fine.
sir. Go ahead.
Whatever.
You're fine. You're doing well. Matter of fact, see, I've been wondering now as we start looking into these independent comics again over the next year. It keeps coming up. Why then do they cost so much? That keeps coming up on people's brains. Why do I have to spend $20 or $35 just for having one? Which, ironically, I must be talking about these because this one here is from Alternate Comics and it's $1.50. Go to Alternate Comics and visit the webpage. Find them at your local comic shops and buy them because they're not $20 to $35. But are you willing to spend? Are you willing to? How much is someone willing to spend on this particular comic here? It being an independent comic, because I know someone who's willing to spend. You want to talk about a high price, $3,000 to $5,000 to buy one, right? Because if you were the creator and you had it in your brain to say, "Hey, I want to read a story that's really good, and I want it to have this a certain type of art to it, maybe a certain coloration. I want it to be. I'm willing to pay for that comic $3,000 to $5,000, and that is the creator. That's right. That's what a creator has to pay as far as artists, colorists, letterers, of course, the artist himself, possibly even the guy writing the script, depending upon which side of the creating house you're on. So he then now has to put that out on the market. He can now get that same comic and that same story, uh, $35 that you're going to pay for it. So what happens is you end up with a product that is at least $5,000, and if you take that, we'll say it's 4,000, and obviously if you divide that by 200, because if you get $200 book, that's the difference. It's amount of backers you can get, own the prize. So out here and we're looking at these comics, continually look at what comic book you can back. Because what you're doing is you're fueling this idea, you're fueling the creators, you're fueling these artists. That's why they cost so much, is because it just takes so much for page rate of artists, page rate of all of these people involved in order to get it out into your hands. And is it worth it? Yes, it is most definitely worth it. And so that's the little thing that I wanted to pass on today, is what it takes to get that made, and how much the creator has to be willing to invest, because he's investing everything, every amount of money into that. And of course, he asks every one of us to help. And so keep that in mind. Next time you go and you Kickstarter and you're looking at backing a book, that you're contributing to something greater and you're helping that guy out. So of course, that's just what I'm saying today. What are the fans saying? Welcome to FanSpeak.
Awesome, awesome. And I don't
We
know.
got
I think
more
this.
robots here.
I know it's a welcome to Isaac Asimov Day. This is what's going on. This
The
is the
robots have
reality.
taken over.
They
Nice.
have. They
It's
have.
beginning to scare me, man.
A little
I don't
bit.
like it. Have you seen those Boston Dynamic videos?
I
It's
have.
very,
I
They
have.
terrify me.
very
Yeah.
robotic.
Yeah,
That's
very
all I have to say.
robotic. Yeah, very
I,
robotic.
Well,
oh, yeah.
and to kind of add to that,
Mhm.
what the Wolf was saying about the cost of why it costs $25 to do that. That's just one part of the cost. You're not even thinking of the fulfillment and distribution part, where you have to pay the printer for all those comic books, and you have to find the
Well,
right price for that as well.
let me lay it down for you as somebody who's
Mhm.
actually trying to make a book right
Mhm.
now. If you're going to do the art, you know, if you're lucky enough to find somebody like I did who does the kind of a painterly style and color, but and he gave me a fairly good rate. It's still quite expensive, and we're talking quite a bit of money just for the pages. But if you're doing from pencils to inkers, and you need somebody to do like have the penciler do the inks as well, that's going to be an extra cost. If you're going to have them do color, that's going to be extra cost. If you're not going to do that, you have to find another person to color. Then you have to have a person to letter. You have to have a person to flat if you're going to go that direction. And then this stuff has to be formatted, and it has to be edited. Now, generally speaking, you're going to have to do your editing alone, but if you can, you should put some money down to have an editor look it over so you don't make mistakes. And then you have to put it before some beta readers if you have good friends, or like a writers group that kind of can look it
Mama.
over. That is all just production. Then when you
Right,
try
right.
to fulfill and delivery, print is a whole different thing, and it depends on how you're going to do it. If you're going to do it like alternate, which is lower grade paper, but not a lower grade book with what you're getting. Often the stories are great, but the paper is cheaper. But if you're going to try to go up within a higher pound paper, a better cover, more bells and whistles, say like the Chromium cover, or put some metallic foil on the front. Put a pull like I'm doing. I'm putting a pull out poster in the book. All this stuff adds up, and then you have to deliver. And the delivery within the domestic's not too bad, but foreign is absolute. Like going out international is absolutely atrocious. It's so expensive, and I'm going to take a hit on that.
That's the killer.
So basically, me doing a comic book for the people who've invested in it by backing my not my Kickstarter, my Indiegogo,
Mhm.
they're basically fueling my hobby. All right, because I haven't made any money at all. I am gonna take a hit on it because I made a miscalculation on the international shipping. However, you're going to get something that is a one-off that you'll never get ever again. Nobody else. I'm not going to put this version of the book out for anybody else, and it'll have a lot of nice extra pages and stuff. And I'm thinking maybe I'll throw a card in there. I'm just trying to figure that out, even though I have to pay for a little bit more on that. But that's what you're doing. And everybody who thinks that it's easy, it has not been easy. It's been hard, and it's still right now. I'm still feel a little bit overwhelmed by some things, but I'm going to get it out, and it'll get to people. And I'm sorry that it's taking so long, whoever it's invested in my book. But so when you look at other people's books, I mean, people call out certain people. I tend to try to ignore that because until you've done it, you don't know. And if you have done it and you're able to do it, more power to you. Somebody like Doug Garrett, who did Lone Wolf.
Yeah.
He got stuff out and did things really cleanly. And, it's not, a super, high, it's not high end, but it was a good book and it looked great. So there you go. I'm going to stop.
Well,
I'm going to stop.
that
Wow,
was
yeah.
that was very informative and concise. Very nice. But you're here for the vulgar degeneracy, right? That's your role here, right?
Well, that's my book. You guys you'll see when you get the book.
That's right. That is vulgar and degenerate. You're right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was perfect then. Claps.
Let me tack on.
No.
Let me
we don't need
tack on a little addendum.
Yeah,
Let me
go
tack on a
ahead.
little
Tack all
addendum
you
there
like.
because because people talk about page rate, right? Why does this art cost so much? And I just want to say something about page rate, because and I'm just going to throw a number out there that's not one of the higher numbers. If, for instance, you pay $100 for a page and you expect that page done in a day, and the artist spends 10 hours, that's more than an 8-hour day. If he spends 10 hours on it during that day, then that comes down to $10 an hour, which is just barely minimum wage. So that's why page rates are generally higher than that, and they usually spend more like 2 days on it, and that gets you an actual technical, a technical career field in this day and age is going to do something more like $20 to $30 an hour, depending upon the amount of education that person has and the amount of experience in their field. So when when you want a professional to do a piece of work, you're going to be paying, $25 an hour, which now you're jacked up to $250 for a page rate. So that's why comics can be anywhere from $3,000 up to $5,000 in order to get that art done. And why is this important? Because that artist has to eat and he has to live, and we like our artists to eat and live.
So what you're
And if you're
basically
trying to
saying,
get, if you're trying to get somebody inside like the industry, like an industry name, it's going to go even higher. And if you want to get like, if you want a J. Scott Campbell cover, that's going to be over 1,000, and that'll be 1,000 would be a super good deal for J. Scott Campbell cover. And even if you could get him to do it, but it is possible if you have connections. But these things start to really rack up if you start doing that. And I'm not saying that like unknown artists aren't great, because like I said, my artist is great, and he's not as well known as within the industry, obviously. But there are great artists out there that can give you a good page rate. But if you're looking for $100 a page, that's usually just pencils. I mean, you may be able to tack on, if nobody knows who it is, you can tack on inks, but colors are going to pump that up.
Oh yeah, that's
Anyways,
absolutely true.
Sorry.
No problem.
Yeah, because because
Do you want me to get my page rate out?
No, we don't. No. Lee is trying to speak.
Well, you're also talking about the fact that, you can go by the art page rate. Okay, so if you're lucky enough, you can find a guy that will do it for $100. Great. Okay, so you got $100. Let's just call it 24 pages. So now you're $2,400 in the hole. All right. So there's your first line. Then you've got your letterer. He's going to want page rate for his lettering. You got your colorist. He's going to want page rate for his coloring. That can be $65, as high as $65. There are some out there that go even higher than that. Then on top of that, you've got if you need a separate inker. Okay, so then you've got the page rate for that. So you can end up, say you started with a guy who has $100 as his start fee for page rate. You're now looking at 275, 300 and a quarter.
Yeah, no, it's true. It is true. And Booster, it's quite obvious that Todd needs a little attention. So give him some sickly sweet love, please. Go ahead.
Which Todd?
That was a joke. But anyway, I'm sorry. Let me shut up. Go ahead.
Imagine that
wow.
box, you sell 1,000 of those.
Wow,
Look,
robots.
Skynet, I've got nothing on me, okay?
That's
I've
serious.
never disrespected the robots. I haven't said anything bad about the robots via live stream or hangout or a telephone, okay? There's no recorded incidents of me saying bad things about the robots, okay?
Wow.
I
DeWolf, you're
disavow
roboting real
robot
hard.
haters.
Yeah.
Please don't kill me.
Yes. DeWolf, you
Now
should
we
drop
found out
you
the
should
wolf
drop
is
in
a
and come back
robot.
in, dude. Drop out and come back in, DeWolf. You're roboting really hard. But of course, Todd, I'm just joking, dude. Todd, of course, is one of the creators over there at IndieCom TV, which I do have later tonight or in the morning, 10 a.m. In the morning on Sunday. I have my coffee Akihabara, and we have an interesting guest. Who we got coming in there today?
We got Aaron Lepresti.
Ooh.
Worked on a few. He's coming from DC. He just got done working at DC, and he's working on Garbage Man, which he'll be crowdfunding.
Mhm.
So he was a veteran of comics. I don't know if you guys remember Sludge and Lord Pumpkin at Malibu. That's where I first heard his name. Sludge was a character created by him and somebody and the writer.
Mhm.
But yeah, he's got over 25 years of experience in mainstream comics, and now is
Awesome.
coming to our realm of crowdfunding.
Awesome, man. It's going to be fun. We're going to get into it tonight. We're going to kind of cover everything he does and have a nice conversation with him on the, like I said, it's my night. It's your guys' morning. But definitely check out IndieCom TV. All right. I think we've warmed ourselves up pretty good. We got ourselves into a bit of a logistics conversation, which is always super exciting, as the chat keeps telling me. But chat,
Right.
do keep in mind that we are live streamers. So please hit that share button and let everybody know what's going on so they can come join us. But I am going over and I'm going to start the news now. Is that okay, Todd?
No, because I
No.
don't mind giving out my page rate live. It doesn't.
We do not need your page rate. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So,
Go ahead.
so people know,
Go
so they know
ahead.
what to expect.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
$150
$750.
for $150 for full inks. So you
There you
get
go.
the inks.
Isn't that expensive?
No. What do you
It's
mean
not.
expensive? No. Nope.
Yeah, but if I'm doing like 100 pages, that's like a lot of money.
It should be a quarter. It should be a quarter.
A quarter?
Said
I mean,
50.
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Nah,
I
this
just wanted to give.
No,
I
it's
just
reasonable,
wanted
dude.
people
It's
to
reasonable.
know.
It is reasonable.
Yeah. I just wanted people to know
That's
what to
right, yeah.
expect.
Yeah.
You should go get the guy you want and negotiate with him. Don't put the blanket post out there and go, "Oh, I'm looking for an artist who wants the job," and then everybody underbids themselves, because that's not. Get the guy that you think fits the project, the property, the style, the genre, and go ask him and see what he says.
Okay.
And be willing.
Greg Capullo, have I got an idea for you?
Greg Capullo. Doug
Yeah.
Garrett's over here complaining. I give it $350. I agree.
Do you guys remember Foom? Or did any of you ever collect Foom?
What?
So
Foom?
did myself.
What
Foom.
the hell's a foom? Sounds
Friends
like
of
a
Almighty
venereal
Marvel?
disease. What are you on about?
Friends of Almighty Marvel. It was the official Marvel fanzine.
What was it called?
It was Foom.
Foom.
FOOM. It was
Wow,
back in
no,
the
I've never heard of
70s.
that.
It was like, yeah, you had to join and be a member. And like I said, big comic nerd. I was a member of Foom, and what it would have is in Foom they would have these. You get specials like. One of them had a Hulk paper mask you could put on. I mean, just goofy stuff for kids. But I remember, I'm gonna say, because this is how weird I am, issue 16 of Foom. It had an article talking about Roger Stern and Bill Manilow hitchhiking to get to a Comic-Con in Colorado. So that's how much money those boys were making back in the day. I mean, they literally hitchhiked to get to cons.
Yep.
But they wanted to do it with the fans.
But now we got now we have Bendis, and he's a millionaire. Mm-hmm.
Yes, we do.
Because he's special, and Booster loves him.
Well, you're talking about a different time.
Bendis.
Yes, it was.
you-
It was a different time. Yes.
Writers make a lot of money these days on trades. They don't really make
Yeah.
a lot issue per issue. You guys know.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yeah, I know. I understand, Zach. Zach is complaining the same thing in the chat. Lee, you really need to talk into your mic more loudly, more forcefully. You need to be the man, be the bear, be like Slick Jimmy.
All right, I kicked it up a little bit. Is that better?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
much better. That's
definitely.
much better.
Okay.
There you
Definitely,
go.
much better.
There you go. All right. Well, it's
I'm just using my mic on my phone, so I don't know what you mean. I just yeah.
it's a force of will, Slick. That's what it is. It is.
All right then.
Yeah, there you go. All right, I'm going to
Okay.
the news now. May I do that? I'm doing that. All right. All right, here we go. Going over.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
While you're doing that, I'm going to take a sip of my coffee.
Oh, you bastards. All right, here we go. Here we go. I'm doing it. It's done. All right. Now, of course, our first story today is for Thundero, and I hope he appreciates all this love because boom, Dinale.
Right, from CBR.com. The new female Thor may be the strongest Thunder God yet. And no,
Woohoo!
it's not Jane Foster. This is the second female Thor.
Yeah, baby. That's what we need. We need more because it was so
Yeah,
successful the
girl.
first time. Who's this one going to
Yes,
be?
Queen.
I think she's going to be a black girl. She's got, it's going to be
Why?
It's Misty Knight. It's Misty Knight. That's what it is.
No,
I'm telling you.
it's Jessica Jones and Luke Cage's daughter.
Oh,
Of course.
no.
Oh God, she's still a baby. The hell, these people.
All I gotta
Do
say
we have
is
to be Asgardian?
all I gotta
Not
say is
anymore.
feminism is a cancerous drug. It just is.
It is. It is. Most
Nice.
certainly.
This is from Old Man Logan, so that makes sense in the context that it's supposed to be from the future.
Yeah,
No,
okay,
because
whatever.
Old Man Logan is
Don't
in the
care.
current No, Booster. They brought in
Oh.
Old Man Logan to the present. This is not in the context of the
Oh
future.
no.
Yeah.
Yes. That's how bad it is. They had to bring Old Man
Desperation.
Logan from the
But-
future because
But
it wasn't. It was the only top seller that they had.
then everyone else should be like 20 years older. When
No. It's all in
No.
the present.
Look at the pants. Look at the pants. They got pants on. Those are pants. Those aren't skin. That's pants. It's pants.
That's pants.
It's pants. Yeah.
Well,
Are you
thank
sure
goodness,
that's
'cause those are
pants?
one hairy legs.
It's pants. Yeah. Like leather pants. These people suck on so many level. And of course, there'll be a movie about it. It's coming. Thor 28.
Well, 2 years when they get the right, able to make Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, you guarantee that's going to come.
So this is actually Jessica Jones and Luke Cage's progeny, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm.
As a person who is Scandinavian, mostly Scandinavian, this irks the fucking shit out of me.
I know. I am a
Like
fellow
everybody?
Scandinavian in here. Norwegian, sir. I agree.
Danish, Swede, and Norwegian with a little bit of Icelandic, a little back their ways.
We don't,
But,
Slick. We shouldn't talk about those things too much. DeWolf's a Pole.
I know.
He's a Pole. He'll get upset. He'll feel lesser.
Oh, he's
We
the one
have
who's
a-
been
we-
stealing
we
my
have a-
jobs.
We have a Polak.
We
Gosh
do.
dang it.
We do.
Yeah, Deutschland, yeah.
The German. That's all right. We'll take the Germans. It's just those damn Poles.
Just
Uber
please don't
Alice.
start any trouble.
They will.
So am I still rebutting after all?
No, you're better.
No,
That is
I'm
better, dude. Yeah.
Hey, all right. Let me say how this is why this is so asinine.
Uh-huh.
Because it's to the point where it's little children who are 6 and 8 years old who says, oh no, you didn't hit me because I have a force field. And then, oh well, no, my force field's stronger than yours.
Mhm.
And they're just making stuff up for characters without actually using any of the world mechanics and any of the people's characteristics within the comics anymore. It's just I have a bigger force field, and we've just turned away and gone about our own business by this point.
Yeah, no, it's not going to sell, dude. Just like the other ones didn't sell, just like all the other crap isn't selling. But
Yeah.
then again, we've been talking about the plan that Disney obviously has. They're just going to, they're just going to seed it out to IDW and other companies. They're just going to shut down the comic division, dude.
And 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 that's what they think. This word here is what they think it's all about. Strongest. It's all about being the strongest. All about being the most powerful. Because that's what I guess that's what feminists and stuff believe that men like. But what we like is good characters with good storytelling,
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter if you're the strongest or not.
Well,
Something
the ironic
interesting.
thing about that, DeWolf, is that one of the difficulties a lot of writers have doing Superman is the fact that he is the strongest, and it's hard to write for him. It's actually a lot better having a character who has to rise to the challenge, who has to become
Right.
stronger, right? So,
Exactly. Yep.
but it's this feminist thinking, it's this identity politics nonsense. That's all they care about, right? This is why you have these little skinny actresses that are just. Did you guys see a little bit of that new show on Netflix called The Island? I mean, it's
No,
laughably. It's maybe the worst thing they've ever done, and that's saying a lot. But it's
and
just
that's worse with Woo Assassins.
do it. It is worse than Wu Assassins.
Wow,
Yeah, it is.
that's
Because Wu at
wow.
least had good action. Because Wu Assassin's action was excellent. The acting was atrocious. But this island thing, dude, it's really bad on every level. And they got another girl in there just taking out these big old beef black op guards like nothing. She's badass, man. She's badass. But it is what it is. So Mr. Thundero has responded, which was the reason we had the article up, and he says, "So Thor is no longer even white. Thor, the Norse god, the pinnacle of Norse masculinity identity, is no longer white." You're right, dude. You found that out, or
or
at least half so.
or a man.
Or a man. Yeah, yeah. Although there was one famous story from Norse mythology where Thor did wear a dress. So
Yeah,
That is
Yeah,
true.
there is this. Yep, he cross dressed for a little bit, and
He
then he
did.
got upset about he got tricked.
he did. He did. Yeah, it's funny. It's not
Actually,
funny actually.
Norse mythology actually does have quite a bit of like humor in it if
Oh
you
yeah, it
read
does. Yeah, it's
It's
true.
yeah. It was Balder, right? During Balder's anointment, where nobody can kill Balder except the mistletoe,
Well,
and that's where he got.
no, it was requiring someone was requiring a marriage in order
Mhm.
uh, to give up some concession or some kind of thing, and Thor went in as the bride because I think it was actually his
Mm.
mother who was supposed to be the one. I can't remember exactly, but something like that. Thor was basically incognito to try to trick this lord into giving up something that they needed.
Oh,
But whatever.
there you
Oh
go.
man,
There you go.
can we see
You're
that adaptation in the
that's
MCU?
that's Love and Thunder right there. I
Love and
guarantee it.
Thunder. There you go.
Yes,
So
Chris Hemsworth in a dress, dressed up as the bride.
So Thor, the
Oh, there's the
incest,
scary thought.
awesome. Let's see. Thundero says the Aesir deserve better. Yes, they do, sir. Yes, they do. Eric Hawkins says the Norse being whites is a myth. See what I did there? Ha ha ha. Okay. Dave says I'm Thor Throm hating though Mutt Thex. What? Okay.
do you guys want to hear the basically
Oh, I saw from
a
having
giant
too
pyramid
much sex. I
steals
get it.
Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, and demands Freya as payment for it, desiring the goddess as his own wife. Instead, Freya,
That's right.
the Aesir, dresses Thor as the bride and Loki as the bridesmaid, and the two travel to Jotunheim
That's right.
for the wedding, and hijinks ensue.
Yeah, so it wasn't mom, it was stepsister Freya. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. Or cousin? I don't know.
Yeah,
She's a Vanir. She's not an Aesir. So, but
yeah.
anyway, I'm like, don't get me started. They'll yell at me if I start talking history stuff. But anyway,
Yes.
I'm moving on from this. But damn,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Damn. All right, that's all I got to say about that. What's this one here, Dinale? No, the Mary Sue has something to say.
The only reason to remake The Princess Bride would be to gender swap and diversify it.
Oh no!
All right,
Isn't it what you just said the other day?
it
I'm
is.
pretty
It
sure
is.
you said it.
All right, so
This
here
is
we go.
all set. All
You
of
know,
it's
we
set
were-
in Europe, and they have to gender and
That's That's okay. No, we're gonna have fun with it. We're gonna have fun with it. We're going to
Inconceivable.
inconceivable. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this the characters from this extremely quotable movie that everyone
Mhm.
loves and has gotten
Yeah.
many people to the point of throwing up drunk. We are going to we're going to fix it. So let's start out with, as DeWolf has suggested, Vicini. Who could we swap to make the better Vicini? Because the dude who played Vicini wasn't really good enough. It wasn't really funny. It wasn't accurate. He wasn't articulate. You know, we could do better. We can do better. So
Melissa McCarthy.
Oh,
No,
Oh.
Jack Black.
No,
Let's go all
you're
out. We're gonna do it. Let's
wrong.
make Jack Black Vicini.
no, dude,
No.
you gotta swap it. You gotta swap it. That's too
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
No,
unless
not
you're
a
s-
booster.
I
No,
have
not
two
Jessica. Not
white
Jessica.
male.
It's Leslie Jones.
No, that's
No,
Andre the Giant.
no. I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna go
Andre
with
the
that.
Giant.
I'm gonna go with the first one said. No, what was the that was the lady who's supposed to be funny when the Ghostbusters. What's her name again?
They were both in
Melissa
Ghostbusters.
McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I was
all
just
right, who's got a pen and
suggesting the whole
paper?
Ghostbusters
Someone has a
cast.
pen and paper.
Yeah.
Someone got to write this down. Okay, someone's writing this
All right.
down. All right, so
Yep.
Vicini
Yep.
is Melissa McCarthy. Write that down. Write that
Yeah.
down. Okay,
Yes,
okay,
yes.
okay. I think we already decided in pre-show that Andre the Giant is Leslie Jones. Obviously,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
So we're gonna write that down. I do apologize, Thunder, but we're doing an experiment here, sir. Okay, who? What about the princess? What about the Buttercup?
Princess.
It has
Oh,
to be-
well, that's
he has to be a
problematic
guy.
as the princess trope, so yes, it has to be a
That's-
guy. Yes.
Yeah.
That's Jack Black.
Who's the guy who plays Flash? What's his name?
Ezra
the one
Miller.
that's annoying as
Ezra
hell.
Miller.
Ezra
Miller.
Ezra
He can
Miller.
be the
He
princess.
is,
Yes.
dude. He's the
He
princess. All right, so there we go.
Yes.
Buttercup is now Ezra Miller. Rock on, rock on.
Keep
And-
the name Buttercup.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Prince Buttercup.
And
I hope a big, strong woman and or man or they comes to save me.
what about Montoya? Who should he be? Important,
That's
classic,
good.
noble.
So it has to be. Have we got any six Spaniards? Any
Yeah.
Mexican ladies?
No, no.
Who's
no,
sexy.
it should be the
Jennifer
Laura Dern.
Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez or Laura Dern.
Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez. Jenny from the block. She could do it. I could see it. She's got a big butt and all. It would have
Mhm.
Who
perfect.
plays
Write
who
down.
plays Wesley?
Brie Larson.
Wow, now
Brie
Oh my
Larson.
God.
Brie Larson is Wesley.
Brie Larson is Wesley. There you go. Right, you writing this down, Booster?
I thought Dinale was writing this down.
Oh God! All right. So all right, we got Wesley chosen out. That's of course Brie Larson. What are the major characters do we need? We need the prince
We
himself,
need-
or the king.
We need the prince and we need
Six-fingered
the
man.
six-fingered man.
Oh yes, no. Okay, let's do the 6-finger man first. Who should he be? Joan
Okay, well,
Rivers. She's dead.
No.
Well,
We
no,
need
well,
an
it can't-
actual. We need an actual six-fingered person to portray this character, or
This is
else
true.
it's disableism.
This is true.
Or ableism. Yes.
It's ableism.
It is
Yeah.
ableism.
Well,
You're right.
how can you make the villain a man though? I mean, a woman. It has to be a man.
Oh, you're right. You're right. So we're gonna have
Yeah.
to just we'll have to
white man.
race swap that one. Let's
No,
see.
it can't be a black man.
Maybe we can get the original actor, Christopher. What's his name? To play the six-fingered man again.
Maybe he could do
Plumber?
it in blackface. That would be even better.
That would be
Yeah.
yes, and
I'm
So-
googling it.
Original
Okay.
actor in blackface.
With-
We gotta write that
in
down.
blackface.
Fingers.
I don't think you're gonna have much luck there, Booster. But Hollywood's all about the perfection.
Surely
Uh,
Halle
and-
Berry
and-
doesn't
and
have six
and I
fingers.
think-
Oprah Winfrey?
Oprah
think-
Winfrey. No, that's Humperdinck.
I think Trump should be cast as the prince.
Oh, Humperdinck.
Well, it would be yeah.
That would be
Trump-
perfect. It would be perfect.
Trumperdink.
Trumperdink. Okay, now
Well,
let's get serious for half a second here. Obviously, this is stupid. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Stop it. Someone needs to be slapped. Someone needs to be slapped. That's all I got to say.
Seriously,
So-
that's what I say.
Yeah, let's
Billy
move it.
Here's the
I'm,
question: Who would do Miracle Max and his wife? That's
oh,
the
two
real question.
lesbian lovers.
God. Two lesbians in love. Yeah, and we gotta have one as a
That's right.
dyke.
Two lesbians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's
Two
the
Oh,
two
the-
lesbian.
Christian,
Two
Christian Stewart and
Two
her,
Muslim
her love.
two Muslim lesbians instead of Jews.
Oh, no,
It has
there
to
you
be two
go.
Muslim
Nice.
lesbians.
Kristen Stewart and Omar.
Mhm.
Omar can be Miracle.
That's
No,
right.
she's
It's
too young.
perfect.
Get Rosie O'Donnell.
No,
Get
Rosie
Rosie O'Donnell.
I was thinking
This
Rosie for
way,
the
this
Giant
way.
actually, but Leslie Jones trumps me. So
Yeah, I agree.
Mhm,
But you get
mhm.
Rosie O'Donnell because then there's no fat shaming.
oh,
You know,
right,
can't have
Oh,
right,
yeah.
that.
right, right,
Mhm,
So
right.
mhm,
we can be good that way. We've got that
Uh-huh.
base covered. We've got the lesbian angle
You
covered.
do, you do.
And
Mhm.
what was oh crap,
Yeah, no,
what's
I
her
think it's
name?
perfect because we
Question: who's gonna play the little boy Fred Savage and Peter Falcon's
oh, we'll get to that in
grandfather?
a second.
Because
We'll get it. We're dealing with
yeah,
Rosie
yeah.
O'Donnell here. Hold your
All right,
horses, all right.
Mhm, mhm.
fine,
Yeah, I
fine,
think
fine.
Rosie O'Donnell as Miracle Max and Kristen Stewart as the wife because we just might get lucky and Rosie might smother her in the act. It could
No,
be
wait a
good.
second. I think we missed out on Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg as the two witches.
Well, we
Oh,
could have
mm,
Whoopi
mm.
as the kid in the bed who's sick getting the story told to him. We could do that.
Oh,
Absolutely,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
We
Because
could
we
do
don't
that.
want to be ageist, right?
No, we
You
don't
can
want to be
identify as
ageist.
any age.
That's right. That's right.
That's
That's right. So who
If
plays Peter
Whoopi go-
Falk? That's the last point. Peter Falk. Who is it? And then I'm moving on.
Do we have anyone in a
Obama.
wheelchair?
Obama.
Obama.
Oh,
Obama
Dave,
plays that. That's
it's
right.
perfect.
let's do it,
Obama.
Boya.
Mhm, mhm.
All right,
Did
I'm
it.
moving on next, dude. What the hell is this? Go
Yeah.
ahead,
You
Denali.
forgot the albino. What's wrong with you?
Oh God, you're right. Damn it, I'm going back. I'm
The
going
albino.
back. Who plays the albino? So who is the most black, dark-skinned actor in the business?
Idris
Uh,
Elba.
no, there's darker.
He's
No,
the guy. He's the
Wesley
guy that
Snipes.
every time someone wants a
I-
black swapped version of a certain character, right? Everyone always immediately says either Idris Elba or Michael B. Jordan. Has to be one of those.
How about Hyman Johnson?
That doesn't help me at all,
Yeah.
dude. I have no idea what kind
Damn
of
it.
damn language you're speaking.
Damn it. He's a black actor from Africa.
All right. Well, I expected
Hyman.
that. I anticipated that being the truth. But
He
no,
was the
actually,
guy in the Amistad. The guy.
Yeah, he's the guy in
yeah,
Amistad.
but he's too respectable. We're mocking this. We don't want to disrespect him.
How about Patrick Ewing?
Oof.
Goodness gracious.
Dug deep in that one, didn't you? Just dug way down there.
Can't
went
walk
All
deep.
right,
back
I
all
went
that
right,
long.
deep.
fine.
Yeah.
I'm moving on. It's definitely next. Denali.
Yeah, it's a next
Wow.
kind of thing. Wow. All right. So CBR.com reports that Neil Gaiman promised that his Netflix series Sandman will follow the comic plots. I know that was a concern that everybody was having. It. We'll just see how truthful it ends up being at the end.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
it's going to be really
call
difficult
lie.
for them to pull that off. How expensive you think this is going to be, dude? I mean, to follow the plot of this is going to be very expensive, right? A lot of CG,
It's gonna
dude.
be a very green screen heavy scenery, right? Like someone would have to CG an entire version of hell if they go for the entire arc,
Right.
right?
Right.
Right.
Because Sandman goes to hell a few times, just to visit, and also the entirety of the dream world, right?
Mhm.
That's gonna need a lot of green screen effects going on there.
Well, just for Sandman himself, dude. Just him standing in screen.
I don't see much of this being able to be shot on location.
Yeah, no.
No.
If they pull it off, though,
screen
it'll be
heavy.
cool, dude. Especially if Neil Gaiman's being completely honest with us, and they're just straight up doing the Sandman. This could be cool, dude.
It could
What
be
a-
cool,
what
but
actor do they go
but there's not a lot of actors that can portray, without backgrounds. I mean, unless you're doing classical actors that are done on stage and stuff. If you get a lot of these current actors, they don't know how to do it, and you'll get a lot of Christian Haydenson and Natalie Portman kind of acting from that kind of deal.
Eddie Redmayne, dude.
I hate sand.
No, Eddie. Yeah. Oh
Eddie
my God.
Redmayne?
You went there. God, Booster. No, Eddie Redmayne. Eddie Redmayne would be perfect.
I was thinking Benedict Cumberbatch has the figure for him.
He could pull it off too. Yeah, but
Yeah,
I think Eddie would be a better choice.
Eddie Redmayne is probably a better age for it, huh?
Well, he's also got that quirky, oddball character to him. He really does that well. I think he'd be good Sandman. But
I think Sandman's more of a straight-faced character, though. Very emotionless, very stiff character.
well, the facial expressions and well, we'll see, dude. Because we've never really had Sandman put in front of us in a motion visual manner. So it should be interesting to see how they interpret it. And they got Neil Gaiman involved, so I'm actually really looking forward to this, dude.
I hope it's good. I really hope it's good.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of been disappointed with American Gods, and he's been involved with that as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
no.
that's a good question. What do you guys think about American Gods? What's the general consensus on it? Anybody?
I found it kind of disappointing that I didn't bother watching the second season,
Hmm.
and I was definitely looking forward to American God.
What do you think, Lee? Have you checked
as
out
well.
American Gods yet?
I watched 3 episodes and walked away. But I'm
What-
kind of
What turned you off to it?
I just didn't feel that. I just didn't feel that I was getting the book for me. I mean, it was like everybody went crazy over Game of Thrones, but I watched the first 4 seasons and walked away from it and never thought anything again. So that's just I'm that way.
Yeah.
What about you, Todd? You got an opinion?
I watched some of it and it wasn't for me. I didn't like this. There was a certain style it had, and I didn't really, it didn't really jive with me.
Is it the deviance that put you off?
No, not at all. No.
Huh. What about you, Slick? You check it out?
I haven't checked it out. So shame on me. Shame on me entirely.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
I got to the point where they had the fire, right? That's where I got to.
Well, I've seen the whole thing, and I thought it's not great, but it's fine. But the thing that keeps me going is I can never remember his name. Who's the guy who plays Odin in it? What's that actor's name? He was in Deadwood and Monarch. What's his name, Dinale?
Ian McShane.
Ian McShane,
yeah. That dude is why I watch it, because he's one of my favorite actors. I mean, for me, this guy, Anthony Hopkins, I mean, that age group, I really like him a lot. The first place I ever saw him, actually, well, we were talking about this the other day. First time I ever saw Ian McShane was on the second or third episode of Space 1999, actually.
Huh.
Yeah. But which was a cool show. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But don't run the theme song because you'll get copyright strikes, bastards. All right. Anybody else have anything else to say on this before I move on? No. All right. Fine. Here we go. Oof. Oh my goodness, Dinale, what's going on? So I'm scared. I'm terrified. Even
we were talking about briefly the other day about that most people in America can't watch anymore because it got copyright. Thank you very much. But Erica Durant joins Tom Welling as Lois Lane, reprising her role back in the CW Crisis crossover event. They're throwing everybody into this finale for
the problem I have, Dinale, is I'm afraid she's going to cut me with a knife. I mean, look at the picture.
Really, I feel like she's going to try and sell me a car.
No.
And then go to the bathroom to hiff up her lunch.
Look at her eyes, dude. She looks angry. Look at her. I don't know what happened, but this is tragic because I remember watching Smallville and she was a hottie, dude. Nope. Is she that old? Was she one of those actresses who was playing a much younger character than she was? Because she looks like she's freaking pushing 60, dude.
She's
remember
41.
he was just out of he was just out of high school, and
maybe by Asian standards, Chester.
She's 41. She's only 41. Damn,
41.
girl. I mean, damn, dude. I mean,
Chester,
my wife is much older
standards,
than
bro.
that. She looks a lot cleaner and younger. See, baby, I said something nice about you.
Oh wow!
She said, "Thank you."
She
Yes,
needs
I
to put
know.
down the cups or something.
I don't know, dude, but it doesn't really matter. It's going to be the smallest of cameos. We know this.
Yeah.
It's I'm just was shocked that she aged so badly, dude. I'm really surprised. And it's too much plastic surgery, man.
Chester.
I don't care, dude. She put something in her nose. There's friggin' plastic in her nose, dude. Look at her. She looks like the
I'm-
dude from Beauty and the Beast. I mean, come
I'm,
on.
I'm looking at it. I'm worried that nose is gonna do something to the environment. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So Chester's just being mean and laughing at ugly old ladies. All right. Sorry. I apologize. No one wants to talk about it. Next.
All right. So they fired Tom King, and they have brought in.
Are you sure they actually fired him? Because
They did.
Really?
He's
You're
still
not-
on
if
the
you-
Really?
if you're still working on another book at DC, then that's not a firing.
Come on,
That's a
come on.
demotion.
Oh, Jesus, Booster. That was funny,
No,
dude.
if you go from one book to the other, that's not a firing. You know what I mean?
Booster, go change your pants.
No, I was just adding to the other stains, but that's beside the point. I'm just very happy. Like, James Tynion is probably not the best Batman writer. He can be insufferable here and there for sure. I don't care. I'm happy it isn't Bendis. I'm happy it isn't Tom King anymore. James Tynion's actually competent and can write a good Batman
True.
story. He
It's
did
true.
well with Detective Comics in its inception, and I hope he does well here.
There you
He was
go.
also doing well in Justice League Dark as well, and he was writing a solid Wonder Woman storyline as well.
You know, Justice League Dark was a pretty good run going on there, actually.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it was actually
Yeah,
pretty good.
yeah, it was.
And I have managed to trigger Eric straight off. She is sexy as hell. Don't you talk bad about my Erica. I do apologize, Eric. Sorry. I get it. I get Erica. I get it. I see the connection. I see
No,
Yeah.
it's a little weird.
it is a bit weird. It's all right. It's all right. He's a good artist, so we'll let him slide. But yeah, no, this is the dude. This is the dude who's coming in now. Now, Todd, may I have a professional opinion on the fellow, please?
He looks like Kevin Smith's younger brother, I think.
That's not professional at all. That's not James.
What do you want me to
Tynion.
say? He looks like a normal guy. I mean, you know, of course he's got one of these sort of SJW beards. It's perfectly coiffed, but no, I mean he looks like a nerd. What do you want?
That was like literally non-helpful. Zaid Comic Summon says JLD was good for a while, but now it's lost me. This arc's been going on for like 15 issues with no closure. They have been. We were talking about this on the Pontificators yesterday, actually, which was I had a lot of fun for the hour I was there, and we were talking about this slow burn with modern comic books and how they don't seem to be able to tell a story in like a one shot anymore. And the slow burn is kind of putting people off. And that's a good point, Zaid. Very nice. All right. Well, we'll see. I guess we'll have to follow it and see how he does with someone's
I
killing
might
off the
pick up
Robins.
Batman again.
Maybe. Yeah.
I'll say, yeah, I might pick up Batman again because I left. Todd just, oh my, I got nothing. I got nothing. I mean, I just, holy crap, Crisis was just mind-numbing pain.
Was it? So you're not a big fan of Tynion? Well, you know,
Or
it's interesting.
No, James Tynion. I don't know. I just didn't care for Crisis. It just drove me crazy.
Well, when most of us didn't like it, and you got Scott Schneider as well. But he is James Tynion the fourth. I am Chester C. Busby the third. So he's got me beat by one number. I don't know how I feel about that.
If you're closer to being number one, doesn't mean you're winning. I don't.
That's true. That is true. Yeah. Anyway, well, this is just something we'll have to check out. It could be good. I mean, there are some people like yesterday. Art had mentioned a guy who's had done some really good work, and he was kind of upset that Bendis had been brought in and kind of kicked the guy to the side. Was it Tomasi he was talking about, Todd?
Yeah, it's
Peter Tomasi.
Tomasi.
Yeah.
Who is in fact doing a very good arc on Detective Comics. I highly recommend that if you're frustrated with Tom
Yes.
King's Batman.
Yeah, he is pretty good. I like Tomasi as well.
And he was doing the Superboys and Robin.
Super
Super Sons.
Yeah.
The Super Sons.
Sons,
Yeah.
and then they
Super Sons,
kicked
yeah,
that to the
yeah.
curb because Bendis is coming. God. what a
Yes.
son-
Bendis is coming.
And he came, boys.
Yes, he did.
He came all over
Yeah,
the place.
all
and he
over,
left
all
his
over
damn head.
everything. He
Yeah.
literally insinuated that Jor-El was having a illicit affair with Lois Lane. Therefore, Clark's wife.
Mhm.
Freaking
And
bend
you
this
see
dude.
the look on Jarrell's face, like, yeah, what are you gonna do about a cuck boy?
Yeah, I know. It was really,
What are
my
you gonna
God.
do?
Fine.
Come on, fight your old man.
Yep.
I'm gonna move on to something less controversial, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So, this is the Rookie on ABC. It started starring Nathan Fillion as the Rookie, a 40-year-old guy transitioning into a police officer,
hmm
and his mentor is this actress who quit because she was claiming that the special guest was sexually harassing her, and she filed a complaint. Well, they did an independent investigation, and they found nothing of the sort was happening at all. And she was very highly disappointed. Demetrius Grossley was the one being accused.
So she so she basically was me tooing.
Yep.
I see. And as you can imagine, this is from Demetrius himself. Cool name, by the way. Hadn't met a Demetrius in a long time. As you can imagine, it's been a very challenging time. I am grateful to my family, friends, and colleagues who have been so supportive. I will continue to be an assertive advocate for the respect, acknowledgement, and advancement of women, both in and out of the workplace. Blessings. Very nice, Demetrius. Very nice. Well said. Very political. Awesome. But it's just another example of this nonsense, and it's interesting that she's accusing a black dude. I mean, she's a black lady, I guess, but they usually try to go after the white guys.
All right.
Wow, yeah.
I'm
Let's
Told you
just,
it'd be less controversial.
I'm just
Uh,
sad for
Lied to
Nathan
me.
Fillion. Just sad. I'm sad for him. He has to deal with all this crap, as a white guy.
yeah, no,
Mhm.
right.
Haven't
Well,
white men been
everybody's
through enough?
trust me. Everybody's gonna be doing Keanu Reeves, where they're just holding their hands out where they can be seen
That's right.
in the photo.
Every time he takes a photo, he'll just hold his hands up in the air, and everybody just he's perfectly.
Hands up,
He's,
don't sue.
that's right. Hands up, don't sue.
Yeah.
well, I gotta say this for me. I find this a bit of a problem because watching this show, I happen to love this character and love the way this actress presents this character.
Mhm.
And I would get behind her on being like in the MCU. I think she could carry a character very well on screen. And so with this type of information just coming out about her, it's just sad all around.
Well,
If you got behind her, she'd probably accuse you of sexual harassment. So be very careful.
yeah, well,
Okay.
it's getting out of hand. It's well out of hand. We've seen a lot of this happen. And it's not just the ladies. We had the who is that gay dude that created the actually hired people to beat him up so he could make Trump look bad? Was
Oh,
Smollett?
Jesse
Oh, yeah.
Smollett.
Yeah.
Juicy
Or
Smollett.
Yeah.
as Dave Chappelle puts it, juicy smollett.
Juicy
Yeah,
Smollett,
Jesse
yeah.
Smollett. Smollett.
Yeah. And that dude hasn't
that's
really
okay.
taken any punishment for that. I mean, you would think it's illegal, right? It sounds
Mm-hmm.
illegal. And of course, all of these
It
false accusations are
should be.
supposed to be illegal too. Well, why don't these women get in any trouble for it? I don't get it. How can you make a false accusation and take a serious one and take no punishment for your lie? I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense at all. But that is the world we live in currently. So
It unfortunately is, and women never take the same punishment for the same crime as men do. I mean, a good example here in Japan. There's been a thing that's been going on the media for quite a while. Basically, they had this young couple, this woman and her new boyfriend. He was not the child was not his kid, but the kid ended up dying right in their care because they were just absolutely crap. And of course, it's a big scandal here in Japan, a very family oriented place, and yada, yada, yada. But the trial is just finished for the woman. The man's trial is starting soon. But the woman was convicted and guilty because she was. And they only gave her 8 years. And people are very upset about that because the child died. In essence, they murdered the kid. And it seemed to me that she was more guilty than anything. But now they're hoopla and talking about how the man's going to get get so much more time. But it's like, okay, he should be punished, I suppose, but it's really her responsibility. So I mean, even in Japan, we get this crap, dude. I mean, it just
Yep.
is what it is, Anyway, that's
Yes.
not
Well,
fun.
the
That's
bad
not
part,
fun.
Yeah.
the bad
Denali.
part about all of this is at the end,
Mhm.
you get these guys who are going through all this, and whether it's women either, because they're all just, it's whether guys or girls that have this happen to them. It doesn't matter if the accusation is accurate. The damage is done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Just
you
the
don't come back from
just
that.
being
Right.
accused.
yeah, that's true.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, and in this particular regards, I think I was trying to mention that the damage is done to her as well because of this, and I hope that both parties and the show can move forward, and this doesn't drag them down.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. Let's move on to the next story, though. It's unfortunate we just keep seeing it over and over. Here, oh my
Right.
God, it's in French. Les justices
Yeah.
consacrées 20 des occasions de jeux de matériels.
Shut up
what?
and make
What?
sense.
Make a who's on. But basically, the high courts of France found that Val was in violations of consumer laws, and that they have ordered Val to give the ability of their users to resell their accounts. So this is a discussion about whether it's legal or not illegal to resell your digital content because you have purchased it, even though it's not a physical device, physical disc like before.
Mhm.
Well, the French said no, it's like a physical disc, and they should be able to sell it. So they've been ordering, I think within 30 to 60 days, they have to put in the component for their French users to allow the French users to be able to resell their accounts if they wish to do so.
Yeah.
The implication about that is Val either has to comply with that or pull out of the French market. If they comply about that, then like a company, because company do this all often, they have to do it for every users, not just them. And if that happens, that's going to really change a lot of the marketing strategies and other the way that digital content is going to be consumed. And that might be a possibility why a lot of companies right now are doing the subscription based services, because they saw this coming in the pipeline kind of deal.
Well, this kind of thing has been going on for quite a while. You got a lot
Mhm.
of countries, and they're actually getting involved and try to bang back against these company and their loot boxes and things like this. And we know that for video game players, them going away from the hard disk into the digital download and the various things with taking people's accounts and doing things like that. Basically, what they've been telling us is that no, you don't own the game. You're just borrowing it, right? Is what they've been doing.
Right.
So it's really nice to see the French hit back against it. And I hope other countries follow suit because it's nonsense. I'm not renting your game, I'm buying it, right? And it's all about wanting to control, especially on these multiplayer battle royale things. If you say the wrong thing or you're the wrong name and you sound like some white guy, they're happy to just absolutely take everything away, destroy your account, and get at you because you know what? It's time and you deserve it, right? So good on the French, dude. I said
you.
something nice about the French booster. I'm going straight to hell. I am.
Yeah, good job, man. Oh
Mhm.
god, just burn the
Well, let's
channel. We're
be
done.
let's be perfectly clear about independent comics. When you buy one, you own it, and you can enjoy it as you wish.
Yeah. But I mean, I know you're
Mhm.
being sarcastic, DeWolf, but dude, that's serious, right?
No, I'm not. I'm marketing.
Oh, I see. Oh, God. Someone needs to send me a memo. But anybody else have an opinion? How about you, Lee? What do you think about this shenanigans that these companies are up to?
Well, I used to play UO and stuff back in the day, and I get it, because this has been going on forever. I mean, ever since games were started. I mean, we were selling accounts and crap, so it's not like it's new. But this is a dual-edged sword. This is going to have ramifications. They've only got two options. They have to make it for everybody, or they've got to pull out of the French market. And I don't know, pulling out of the market, I think in the long run that'll hurt them worse, because the fans who I can see a lot of European fans going, "Hey, no, 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 no. French said it was okay. We want that."
Yeah.
The
No,
English will want it.
absolutely. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Spaniards will want it. The next thing you know, they're going to have no choice. This is this is a dual-edged sword for them. They're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
the big markets for them in Europe are Britain, France, and Russia. Actually, the Germans play too, but the big markets for them are those three, though. So this is not a small thing. This actually will have ramifications for sure. And of course, Britain also is knocking on and creating laws to stop the loot boxing, and there's a lot of stuff going on right now because these companies they get a but you get used to have like CG Project Red is a good example. CD Projekt Red is still owned and operated by people who love video games, right? But all the other ones like EA and Bethesda and a lot more and more as every year goes by, it seems, are being taken over
Hmm.
and run by these suits. And these suits don't care anything but the number. There's no love of the video game anymore, and that's why we're seeing this just debacle going on because it's all about let's get every little penny we can out of them. And the real problem is the damn women's games on the smartphones, those little mobile Candy Crush crap, because they
Hmm.
penny pinch the hell out of those ladies, man. And because they're seeing success, they're like, hey, we're going to follow that formula, and that's why it's coming over into actual video
So
games.
so those are open for anyone to download. It doesn't matter your gender.
And, and yet they are lady
They're
games.
ladies'
They
games.
are
I'm
ladies games, dude.
If
Uh,
I
I need to be
can't shoot
quiet.
things in the face and have them screaming as they die, it's a ladies' game.
I need to be quiet. My
Okay.
mother-in-law and my wife are just across two doors, so I
well,
need to be
turn
quiet.
it up so they can hear me offending the world. But
They play those games like it's life.
Yeah, well, it's cool, dude. I'm happy for people who enjoy it, and
You need to
I
beat
don't have a
them.
problem with it. I'm just saying that that is what affected the mainstream gaming because they saw that money being made, right? But cult film video has something very insightful to say. The French have always been innovators ever since the French fry. God.
Very
All
good.
right, moving on. Last story here. What the hell?
Right.
Why am I talking about the post office?
Well, it's important because we were talking about distribution and fulfillments, and Slick Jimmy was talking about the overseas shipment, the international shipment. Well, the U.S. Postal Office has issued their intent to leave the UPU, which is the Global Post Office Union,
Mhm.
last year around this time. And but if there's not a new negotiation made by September 30th, you will see international postal rate rise 300% as it normalizes.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
Wow.
this is
that's not a good thing.
yeah.
Dude,
So
I'm
it's big.
already paying ridiculous prices already.
Mhm.
I may have to issue a bunch of refunds at that point. I'm not kidding. I'm not
No,
kidding. I
he's
won't be
not
able to
kidding.
handle it.
You won't
Yeah.
be able to, yeah. That'll break the
Well,
bank.
yeah.
So you're talking about basically $100 for me to get anything in Japan is what it's coming down to. Um, damn, dude. So what's the angsty politics behind it, Dinelli?
Well, basically, and this is actually works out better for the U.S. in the long run because we are actually one of the country in that union agreement that's actually paying more for international shipping. By us leaving it, it will actually bring it down for us, but it'll raise everybody up the
Yeah,
price.
but now hold on a second now. Let's think about this for half a second.
Hmm.
It just allow me to become political for a second. Now, Trump. No, seriously. Now Trump has
Hmm.
come in, and we have a lot of screaming, and yelling about Trump. Now, most of them are just stupid little sycophants that have no brain in their head. But there's
Hmm.
actually agenda behind the attack on Trump, and what that is for decades and decades. You've had these big business people basically trying to turn America into a bunch of eaters, just consumers. Don't want Americans making anything. That's why the taxes were so high. Just want Americans to buy everything so they can make their stuff cheaper in other countries, sell them into America, and make big profit. That's the whole point of what was going on. Trump came in and says, nope, I'm going to make America great again. We're going to bring back manufacturing jobs, which is why the ones you saw came back were like Caterpillar, John Deere, those things like that, because they had been pushed out of the market by Democratic taxes. And therefore, when they had the opportunity to come back, they gladly did. And you notice companies that didn't come back, like Apple, are the ones who are so against Trump, right? So this is the actual politic that's going on behind the scenes, behind all this Orange Man bad crap. This is the reality of it, right? But so Trump is doing his best to make America an actual producer again, a major producer. Now, this action right here would be in stark opposition to Trump's endeavors. And I'm kind of curious
No,
if it is
actually, it
not
wouldn't.
political. Yes, it would, because if he's trying
No,
to turn
no,
America into a producer and having it more
yeah,
expensive to send things overseas with your production, it
no, no,
will
no,
kill it. It will stifle it.
no, no. It would actually be cheaper for us to send things out. It would be expensive for everybody else to
Yeah, which
sending
means
us
they
goods.
won't buy it because you're jacking the price
Right.
up, dude.
Yeah.
I'm telling
And
you, this
also,
sounds like part of the same agenda, is what it sounds like to me, dude.
yeah, and who is the largest? Who is the largest overseas shipper? I mean, does the United States ship more than any other country out of its borders versus
We haven't been,
any other?
but that's what Trump is trying to change,
I
right?
would say China's a massive shipper of because they
Yes,
ship
Yeah,
they
out
are.
all kinds of
They are.
merchandise.
That's right. Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Okay, so what you have immediately is everything from China is going to go up. Okay, so now it's going to go up here, and everything
Yeah.
going out is going to be cheaper. And you know, there's a catch-22 to all of that, because it can be a boon, but at the same token, it's going to come back and bite us in the butt here. I mean, it's, again, lesser of two
Yeah.
evils, I guess.
It sounds like the same agenda to me. It sounds like it's part of that overall plan, because that's really what all this is about, guys. They're pushing so hard against Trump because he's breaking the monopoly they've been trying to create. And if you think about it, if you look at it in the insidiousness of it, because the Americans, what has happened over the past so many decades? We've been producing less. Americans have become poorer. They become fatter, right? Because they've turned them into nothing but eaters, right? And Trump is desperately trying to change that, and good on him for doing it, right? But that's this absolutely outrage, and this huge pushback is all about these companies that want to keep Americans eaters and not producers. That's what it is. And all these little silly little idiots are just kind of following along like the stupid sheep they are. This sounds like more of the same politic to me, dude. It's what it
There's a
sounds like.
Right.
global postal union.
I say, yeah,
Yes.
that's interesting as well, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's
It
just
was.
it just seems odd. There's a global. So is there a global post office? And it's not run by Santa Claus. I mean, it's run by
It should be.
by a different entity, right? Right. That's the only
Yeah.
global person I know that delivers things on time. I might add.
Mm.
Um, but I just find this odd.
It
Yeah.
is. Interesting news, and I thought it was nonsense, but it's not. It's good
Right.
news, and it applies to us directly, because Slick Jimmy's right. If this happens, a lot of these indie guys are going to basically no longer sell internationally, dude.
Yeah,
That's what's going to
I won't
happen.
be able to do. Well, I mean, if I did on my next thing, I'd have to have a thing where it says, "Oh yeah, you'll buy the book for $20 or whatever it is," and then it'd be $100 for shipping. I mean,
Yeah.
Or
that's
have to
just
go digital.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
or yeah, or just and I'd have a digital thing for people
International
outside.
digital. There you go. There you go.
But I mean, to get the hard copy, you just have to pay the shipping. I couldn't right now. Like I only put like $5. I mean, I'm screwed. You know.
Yeah.
You only got $5 for international shipping.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought I put 10 on others, but
Ooh.
I made a mistake.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's
that's a
not
big
good, dude.
boo-boo.
And I love the fact that this story is coming out of a website called Freight Waves. It's too perfect. Mr. Thundero says the maker of Gibson guitars was literally raided by the feds and told to stop production in the U.S.
Yes, he
This was
was.
like 8 years ago. Yeah, no, dude, that is the agenda. They wanted all production stopped in America, and they just wanted to turn to America into a money-making piggy bank. That's what they were doing. That's why everything went overseas. And Trump is coming back. That's the whole point. It doesn't matter about his politics sick or none of that matters. The only thing that matters is money. It's all about money, and it's the fact that he's trying to make America a production company, a country again, and they're really balking about it. And the reason when he dropped that 23% business tax rate down, which is pretty low internationally, that's why we saw so many of these companies come back, because they want to be American companies, but they were forced out. So it's an interesting little article we got here, and this is why Trump needs to win. It doesn't matter if you like him. It doesn't matter if you find him obtuse or offensive. None of that matters. He's fighting the good fight right now, right? And he needs to keep making that fight, because we can't have Americans just be used as somebody's piggy bank. That's not right. That is not right. We can't do that, right? And of course, what will happen if he has success, which hopefully he will in the long run, they'll just find another country to turn into their piggy bank, right? Maybe China or what have you. I hope it's not Japan. But it's interesting. All right.
Right.
Like I said, if it does happen, I'll just have to refund a bunch of people.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to.
And
right now, I can.
We'll get
So-
I
it.
can fulfill. I have enough money to fulfill what I need to do. I have enough savings and a good enough
Right.
credit line, but I'm not going into $10,000, $15,000 debt for that. I'm just not doing that.
Well, the thing too, keep this in mind. This is just, just my opinion, and everybody knows opinions, But anyway, having said that, Doug TenNapel, he had the same problem. He undercharged, and what he went and said was, "Hey, look, guys, I goofed. It's my goof. I'm going to eat it, but if you can help me, I would appreciate it." And he received a huge amount of backers who gave extra, and some who weren't international backers who said, "Yeah, I'll help out. I'll give you $5." I mean,
Wow.
you could
Well,
go into
That's not a bad idea. I mean, I hate to go hat in hand, but right now I can cover it. But I might do that in an update on my ask. But if it does go to the point where, like what we're talking about, there's just no way. There's no way.
Well, keep a close eye on it, dude. Keep an eye on what's going on with that.
Yeah.
But
Don't lose your butt.
and I'm not sure if I backed so many of them. I'm not sure if I backed your Slick, but if I did, you just send me the most debauched digital version you have, and I'll be good.
But yeah,
Well, the thing is like I will try to get like people that I know. I mean, if it stays the way it is, I have friends that I will send to regardless, just because they're people have helped me. But there we go. Hey, is this the last story?
That is, we're done. Yeah.
Can we look up something that I just saw on the internet that I thought was cool? It's Bruce Lee as a Jedi.
Bruce Lee is a Jedi. Okay, I thought it was going to be something pornographic. All right, sweet. Here we go.
No. Bruce Lee as a Jedi. Look it up.
All right,
And he's fighting a samurai who they've digitally, put in the swords. So his nunchucks are now.
Swords. Let's be careful.
Well, his nunchucks are,
I'm on it.
lightsabers, whatever.
Hold on a second. Let me find it here. Let me see
yeah,
here.
let's
Copyright strike number
copyright.
2. Copyright
Bruce
strike number 2.
Lee as a Jedi. Hey, okay.
This is interesting that you say nunchucks, because what we saw about Rey.
There it is. It's the yellow one. Yeah.
Her flipping
this one
lightsaber.
No, there's an actual video. So go to the video.
Oh, you want me to say? Oh, you want me to watch a video? Oh,
Yeah.
Bruce Lee with a lightsaber. This one here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to pause it every 4 seconds.
Well, who put it up? Secret recipe? No, I'm fine.
Trust me, you get okay.
All right, pause. Okay, go. Pause. Pause. Okay, go.
You know what's interesting about that is that he actually made it to be paused. That every frame was perfect. So anytime you would pause, he would be in a pose that was perfect. So that's the interesting thing.
Oh, dude, this is badass. Actually, hold on. I got pause.
That's what I said. I thought.
Gotta go.
I thought
Okay,
you would like it.
pause.
Out for a
Gotta
while.
go. Okay, pause. Okay, go ahead. I love the Chinese man being a Japanese.
He's got some pretty good lightsaber skills.
Well, he's holding it like a Nihonto, right? So it's it is. Now Bruce is so badass, dude.
Can you imagine if this was actually a Star Wars film?
Now we know Yoda. This is Yoda when he was
Pause.
young.
Okay, gotta go. All right.
Yeah. This was Yoda when he was young.
That looks cool.
Oh,
Dude, it works so cleanly.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Beautiful.
Yeah, anyway, there you go. I thought you guys would like that.
Like the
Sweet.
nunchuck seems so dangerous, but so cool. So
Yeah.
impractical, but so cool.
Yes,
So
they are.
cool.
that reminds. I hope that they're not taking the yellow lightsaber because of this. Have everybody heard that rumor that Rey would put together a new lightsaber and it'll be golden?
Yeah,
A
man.
golden hue.
It'll
Whatever.
be golden, just like her. She's perfect.
No, whatever.
Perfect.
They don't even know how to finish their damn movie, dude. They literally have six endings that they put in front of people to make a decision. Everybody, go ahead,
And they-
get your voice, potluck. Damn it! I mean, come on.
So, guys, did he realize that they actually released a new poster because the first one that got leaked was so awful?
No,
It
I didn't
was
see
pretty
that,
bad,
man.
dude. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it because they'll copyright strike me. I can't. You can't
Yes.
look at anything on the internet with getting copyright struck.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Mhm.
But anyway,
You know,
guys.
isn't it-
Yeah, go ahead, Lee. No, go ahead.
I was just saying, isn't it sad that, as fans, all right, here we are. We've got Star Trek, and I don't know how you guys view Discovery, and I'm sorry, I watched half of the first episode and said, "Holy crap, man!"
Oh, it's
and just
bad.
turned it off. To me, it was. I watched. I've seen clips from Picard. I don't know. I have my doubts, but when I started seeing these new episodes of Star Trek or Star Wars, the first one I thought, okay, Luke, yeah, okay, that's what drove me as a fan. Luke, okay, he's here, man. Return of the Jedi, go on, or
Last Jedi.
Last Jedi.
Are you trying to trigger me, sir?
I'm just saying, man. Last Jedi.
I think he is. He's trying to trigger
Yes,
me
he
as
is,
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's just I can't do it. I can't.
No, you can't, and you shouldn't, because it's absolute crap. And
It is.
JJ and
It's
Jar Jar
horrible.
Abrams can go straight to hell. How about that?
Yeah.
Let's send
I
him
think
an
it's-
apple pie.
I think it's really telling about just the art of society. You see the rise of a society, you see its art, you see its art flourish. And we had that for a time, from our music, our media, our the written word, even the books we're putting out. And now you look across the whole genre of all of the media, and these movies included there, and they've just gone down, down, down. And we're seeing the art of our entire society, at least here in the Americas. I'm not sure about the rest of the world. Maybe they're still holding their own as far as being interesting and good art. But here we're seeing it just drop to the wayside. And as far as quality and interest, and I think that's interesting. That's exactly where we sit today now with independent comics.
Yeah.
Well, we're
Taking
back in a
something-
cycle.
Yes, yes.
I see it in media, the mass media, in cinema, and games, and in comics. The only place that I stay, and it is also in like books, but there is a corner of just like there's a corner around, quote unquote, our sphere of comics. There is a place within literature that there is some great stuff being done. Just it's not getting accolades, nor is it getting, legacy publishers. It's being self-published, and there's a lot of really good stuff out there. You just have to go dig it up. And then a lot of the stuff that used to be, people used to get their easy money once they were in the system. They're being pushed to the wayside. A lot of stuff that I liked from like the 80s and the 90s and up through 2000s within literature that stuff has been pushed away because of, political correctness. Uh, so it's still there. There are people still producing. It's just the establishment is not letting them in, and it's a sad day. We're in a nadir, I think, culturally, and I don't know if our culture will
Ooh,
survive.
I like that
I
word.
don't know.
It's a good word.
Yeah.
I've heard
Well,
that.
you
Yeah.
take look at could you imagine? Because my wife and I both are very huge Anne McCaffrey fans. Dragon Riders of Pern. I mean, make the damn movie. But
Right,
Oh
right.
yeah.
I agree with that.
you
Yeah,
know, but can you imagine Pilar rapes Alessa?
that's true.
Can you
Well, I
imagine
mean
how
that
that scene?
happens
How
in
can you imagine how that scene's gonna play out? I mean, can
the
they do that even?
right.
That
Well,
book,
like that happens in Stephen Donaldson's White Gold Wielder. I mean, the main character rapes a girl in the first book, and he has to live with the aftermath of that through the entire series, and it taints his character the entire time, and but it's still a very engaging story. And I'm not saying that I approve of that sort of thing, but you're right. How would Stephen Man McCaffrey's story go? You just you'd have to take it out.
Well,
Um,
it is
but
a it
it's
is
integral to the storyline because that's what happens. You know, uh, when the dragon's going to flight, that's part of the process. I mean, yeah, I guess you could take it out, but it's
You'd have to
how.
change it. Yeah, you're right. You'd have to change it integrally, and you'd have
Yeah,
to mess with it. I mean, that's not something that Hollywood hasn't done before.
right.
We
oh
know
no,
that
Well,
for a fact.
it is a traditional redemption arc to use the rape as that, because I mean there's an actual the oldest version of that I know is actually talking about El, the god of Abraham. The Jews
Hmm.
threw this story out, but when he was quite young, he found a beauty on the water side, a princess, and a goddess princess, and he invited her to take a ride in his ship. And he forced himself upon her, and he's the king of them all. But the Elohim council threw him out because of his act and put him into exile for a bit. And they solved it by having him marry her. And of course the redemption of the story is he did a bad thing, he married her, and he always stayed married to her, and he was always faithful. Whereas many of the other gods were always having strange, weird, quirky affairs, he was the dutiful husband who never strayed from the line. So it's a redemption arc that's been going on for literally thousands of years in our storytelling. It's not odd that Hollywood would be copying that, or writers or what have you. It's a pretty standard trope, I think.
yeah,
Well, I mean, there's a lot of that within mythology,
Yeah.
within most mythologies. And today, you can't talk about it because you can't. That once you're tainted with any sort of, something, that person is, canceled. There, I mean, and again, like I don't want a rapist in my own family. That would be not a good thing.
No, but
But
yeah, yeah.
but I mean, the founding of Rome was, when this say being rapes, where they go and, you know, basically capture a bunch of women and make them their women. Um, that's in the core foundations of a lot of things, and I mean, to ignore that, to ignore the bestial nature that men can sing to, that humans can sing to, and then try to rise above that. That's part of our striving to be better as a
It
species.
is.
And I think it's something that trying to ignore it is a bad thing, because you end up, when it comes back, there's this everybody knows that civilization is fairly fragile. And then if the order and system that we have collapses, it's just going to go back to some very bad times, warlords and shit like that. I mean, just with a little bit
Yeah.
more technology.
Yeah. No, I agree. And you bored the death out of Booster and he ran away. You scared him.
Fuck
You scared
Booster.
him away. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Fine. Ding ding. But anyway, guys, we've definitely come to the end of the show here. We do appreciate you guys coming on and staying with us. As always, we had some interesting topics today. Lady Thor is continuing into his second generation of Lady Thors, and I know Thundero is very happy about that. So it's all good. It's all good with the world. But what I'm going to do is just come down here and give people a chance to say where they can be found and things that got going on. I'm going to start with DeWolf because he's got new things going on. He has a new icon too, dude.
I
DeWolf.
do.
Oh my! Wow, super robot.
Megatron.
Megatron is in the house. All right, so let's move on to Lee. Tell us what you got
Well, I
going on.
can. Oh,
Well, as I said, for those of you who came in late, uh, James Dean Anderson has asked me to be the EIC for Cautionary Comics. We'll be trying to launch Off-World sometime in the last quarter of this year. Off-Worlder. We've spoke to Mike today. Mike Barron, he's raring to go. He wants to get this thing out there. He has a lot of faith in the story. So yeah, we've got some things moving. We're trying to get this up and started because we know that there was been some hiccups with Ben, but we think that we can bring the company forward and get that brand back up
Sweet.
there where it was.
That is awesome, dude. And when you get your feet under you and you got stuff going on, come on back and talk to us about it, dude. Please.
Would love to, guys.
All right. And of course, Todd, sir, I know you have a bunch of stuff going on, and you can also speak for DeWolf if you'd like.
Oh yeah, the Wolf is creating sort of an imprint that he'll be doing some project out of, both in the realm of comic books, and he's working on a game, like a tabletop game that he's been working on for a long time. So we got the Wolf off the sidelines and said, "Hey, come make some comics with us. Your stories are really good." And now he's created a logo for that imprint, and it's a flying sidecar press. And I don't know who designed it. It looks pretty good. It's not bad, I guess. Tomorrow morning
Mm.
we have
That was optimistic.
we have tomorrow morning we have Aaron Lepresti, who is been working live on Garbage Man on his YouTube channel after working at DC for the last, I think, about 8 years, maybe longer, because he did do some X books. I remember. Maybe it's longer at DC. Probably about 12 years. So Aaron's going to join us tomorrow and tell us a little bit about his career and Garbage Man, and Garbage Man, what he plans to do with it. I don't know if you guys know this, but Garbage Man was a character that appeared in Weird Worlds. There was a 6-issue, I think it was 2011, 2012, a 6-issue thing that had Lobo, Garbage Man, and some other character that was purple. And I don't know how he is able to take the Garbage Man character and do him as an independent comic. So we're going to find that out tomorrow. So join us on Coffee Akihabara at 10 a.m.
Akihabara. Akihabara.
What do you, what? I didn't say it right.
Akihabara.
You're roboting now. How about
I
that?
am not roboting. You're lying. It's Coffee
You are.
Akihabara. Get it right. Speak
Coffee
your Japanese.
Akihabara!
Practice. All right. Thank you very much, Todd. And I'll see you guys in the morning, of course, with that. But moving on here. Slick, dude, what you got going on, man?
As usual, I do have my book still on demand on Indiegogo, Little Girl Lethal. It's not for the children. It's for adults. It has mature themes. We do have 2 different books. So we have a modest and an immodest. The modest is still pretty sexy. The immodest is it's the full Monty.
It's for
And,
Chester.
you'll enjoy. Yes, it's for Chester, and it is for those discerning people who like the good stuff. And it's, if you like Sin City, you like Fifth Element, that sort of thing, Akira, you're gonna enjoy some of the influences I have. You can find me at Slick Jimmy Speaks on YouTube, and Slick Jimmy Love on the Twitters. So that's me. Come check it out. If you are an international buyer, well, it is what it is.
I do love that. Slick Jimmy Love. That is awesome, dude. All right, cool. Well, thank you very much, sir. And thank you to everybody. It's awesome. Do keep in mind tomorrow we have TFT, Tinfoil Talk, where we will be doing mysterious deaths. Ooh, it should be interesting. But come check that out tomorrow. We're going to have fun, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as usual. But for now, Dinale, take us out of here.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us for this FanSpeak episode. Join the Immortal Mask newsletter at dinalescomics@gmail.com. Just send me an email that you want to be part of the subscription, and I will put you on the newsletter. But as always, your perception shapes out your reality, so always make it a good one.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Later, guys.
Aloha.
Adios.